think back to your own time when you were little and whether or not when you said, I want to be an astronaut or a doctor or a vet or a firefighter, if people looked at you and said, yeah, okay, great. I think you should try that, versus, good luck. When you first go to kindergarten, those first few days, it's really identity forming. If you go in and you feel like, I'm the kind of kid that's always in trouble, teachers don't get excited to see me coming. Over time, I think you are much more likely to give up and not to try.
For children who come out of immigrant families where no English is spoken at home and they're thrown right into kindergarten, it's often really difficult for them. Suddenly there's a new language being spoken, suddenly there are all these rules that teachers are concerned that kids all learn to follow. So it's a pretty tall order for those kids to get into kindergarten and be successful. That's part of why Denise Louie is good.
We work with about 350 kids in our preschool and early Head Start program, and we support another 200 children in play and learn groups across the city. 80% of the children have English as their second language.
When a child comes into an environment where their home language isn't spoken, it's a very intimidating situation. I was 7 years old when I moved to the US with my family, and so of course I only spoke Spanish. Going to school for the first time where everybody speaks English, I remember just not even attempting to talk because it was so frightening. And it's not just the language, but the culture is very different.
What makes Denise Louie very special is its focus on multicultural education. They don't just say, well, let's hurry up and learn English so you can do your real learning. This organization says to the kids, your home language, your family is important, and they are not somebody to be set aside, but actually someone to be lifted up as valuable.
One of the great gifts that Social Venture Partners has given to us is unrestricted funding. The ability to find unrestricted dollars is very difficult to do. It is one of the few ways in which we can actually invest in what's good for the organization as opposed to being constricted by what our funders might tell us we have to do.
What I like about SVP's model is that they don't just provide a grant and say good luck with that. They really provide support.
A couple of years ago, the United States government enacted a sequester of funds. We were suddenly faced with the prospect that a large portion of our operating budget would just be removed. SVP was very helpful during that period of time. They really provided a lot of advisory support on how best to use what we had in order to impact our families as little as possible.
Some of the most important capital that SVP provides to its communities is human capital, the brains of the people that are partners, that put their hands up and say, look, I'm an engineer or I ran a business. I want to give back to the community and I want to help an organization like Denise Louie figure out its business model or figure out how to expand while maintaining quality. And that's been a wonderful resource to Denise Louie and to many other organizations in our area.
I would love to see every single child that can really use our services, that are at their most vulnerable, to really be able to come in and find a safe haven and flourish and know that they are appreciated and cared for. I want those students to be able to go into their next setting comfortable and at ease and to be indistinguishable from any other kid because they know they've got this. If the very beginning the narrative is, teachers light up when I walk in the room, they're happy to see me, that will serve them for the rest of their lives.